Okay, so we could do a really long session on the mistakes that investors make approaching VCs. If I break them down into categories, I guess just a process mistake that I see founders making so often is they begin a set of discussions with one investor and feel like they're engaged and feel like there's some sort of commitment, and then are surprised when that investor kind of passes or just time passes by. So often, investors won't actually say no, but they'll kind of string you along and this meeting and we need to see this and then we can move to the next step. So doing these discussions in serial versus in parallel is just a hugely common mistake. And I see folks doing that far too often and mistaking, if you think about the venture business, we theoretically should meet with everyone. Unless it's totally out there or it's just not a fit, you meet with everyone, but then you very quickly narrow down into a small subset of opportunities that you're really going to focus on. And I think that entrepreneurs don't have an appreciation for that, and so they mistake that kind of first and second meeting with kind of true interest, when really it's after you get beyond the second meeting that you start to narrow down. So that's a mistake. And then by far the most common mistake is not targeting who you're approaching well enough. So all the time, I'm very clear I'm very visible online. Everywhere where I have a profile and talk about what I do, I say I only invest in two sectors, software as a service and e-commerce. And yet every week I am hit with startups that fit neither of those categories. We're seed stage investors. We try and meet with everything, so I will pick up the ball on some of those. But those entrepreneurs would be far better served if they were working on a B2C or a gaming thing to approach somebody else. So really targeting who you're approaching or failure to target who you're approaching is a very common mistake. And I think the third one is you have to create some sort of catalyzing event to get investors to write you a check. And so you really, very often, I find entrepreneurs time their fundraising around their needs. It's fine. If you're running out of money, it's a perfectly good reason to be raising more, but you have to be more strategic about it. You want to time your fundraising event around when you're going to be launching a product or some kind of milestones. This is particularly important for follow-on capital than for beginning capital, but what is it that's going to get an investor to actually stop just waiting to see how you progress and actually write you a check? It's going to be some sense that, hey, if I don't do this, somebody else will. Therefore, you need to create scarcity, you need to create momentum, you need to time your fundraising effort around milestones that you are going to hit inside your business so that the investor gets excited and moves fast. So those are I could go on and on about mistakes, but those are the most common ones that I see.